Huh. Hello? Stop streaming. Okay. Hello. Welcome to Den and Denim. I'm Den. Happy 501 day. I think a few people say hi. Otherwise, I think I'm just talking to the future. People, this is 501 day. This is our live stream. We are going to talk about the new releases, the future of the company, the future of the channel. Lots of good and some bad, but yeah, it's all about a party today. Little Levi wants to get his drink on. We've got toast at the end. If you got something, pour it. Otherwise, grab yourself a little refreshment. I tried to go for a Munich beer. And yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Monk in Hell, I think it says. And of course, I made some special cookies. Indigo dyed with an arcuate, some silver and gold sprinkles for the rivets. Although I think the color came out more copper. I really want to start this off with the best of vibes. So I want to talk about all the good stuff that Levi's has done. It has been quite the day for the LVC fans. If you work with the company, I know it's been really hectic, and I wish you luck. You are the troops on the front of the line. You know, embrace it. This is really the moment to be there. Where are you? Where are you watching from? Chime in. I am here in Europe. I thought of going to the Butenheim place, but there's San Francisco is like the biggest, Tokyo after that, London and Paris, and then some other cities are doing kind of a pop-up. So let's talk about the good stuff. I think the best thing that happened this whole season, I'm really loving, is from the archives. Now, there's been a few of these episodes over the years. It's Tracy Panic, the Levi's historian, brings you a little something, tidbit about item in the archive, and they tell you a little story, kind of like my videos, but different. And I love them, and you can watch both of them. Sometimes they cross. You'll talk about the same stuff. Phoenix, right on. Right on. All right. Ask your questions. We'll do a Q&A at the end of the session. I'm expecting this to go about an hour, maybe just a little longer, maybe just a little under. You know, it is the biggest day of Levi's history celebration. Now, if you look at this shipwreck one, number 12, basically 13 is the long version. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the archive episodes this season, which is more than usual. The first one starts off Ship of Gold, and they talk about this wreckage that was found from the 1850s. And there's a pair of pants that they thought maybe were Levi's. Most likely, definitely not. They're not riveted. We're not here to celebrate the 1850 Levi moving from New York to San Francisco. We're here to celebrate the riveted garments. And this predates that. It's some evidence of it before that. Then we got a puppet show. This is a 1930s mobile exhibit that is being recreated and done up. Hopefully it'll be touring in the next couple of years. The cowboy poetry. Happy birthday to the cowboy poets. To women who are wearing 501s and born on this day and doing poetry about being a cowboy. Amazing. That was my favorite. Until this week when they dropped the Smithsonian visit to see the duck pants. They talked about how this year's pair is different, the most historically accurate they could have. And there's one other that's hidden if you go to their videos. They didn't put it on the playlist, but it talks about the Draper. And it came out like right after I had finished my video about the 1947s, and I talk about the Draper. So there's those 5 episodes. Awesome, awesome stuff. I also really like that instead of just doing a lookbook, like they did videos of the lookbook. You can see that the Birth of the Blue Jean video, as well as this little montage one from before it. And I have to say, it's just wonderful. I wish they would have done this with every lookbook. I could use those in my videos and love it. Then there's the actual lookbook and the characterizations they've done, and I love it. I am so thrilled beyond the moon. I thought they did a great job. But if you look at these two guys, then the one with the goatee, I think he could represent Mr. Strauss and Jacob Davis. And I'll show you why. This photo on the left is Mr. Davis, the one that's a little less touched up. And the one on the right is Mr. Strauss. Both circa 1880, let's go with. Here's a younger picture of Mr. Strauss. And you can see he rocked sideburns for most of his professional life and then settled into a goatee about the time he met Mr. Davis. But Mr. Strauss he's a good businessman. He's a people person. He can smile. Jacob Davis never smiled. Apparently, like this super stern man, by the book, just super old school. And so when I see this guy smiling, supposed to be Mr. Jacob Davis, I just think, like, how could that exactly be happening? I haven't been showing you any of this. Sorry about that. So let's look again. Here is young Mr. Strauss, sideburns. Here is old Mr. Strauss on the right with the goatee and the nicer looking picture. And on the left, you have Jacob Davis. And I think that guy could play both of them. But the smile is funny. All right. These from the archives. If you get a chance, I would say check them out. The newest one just talks about the newest pair of jeans, the Draper machine, the poets. Fantastic stuff. I love it. I'm so glad for all of it. Thank you. Woo! Let's take a moment and just introduce. I'm Dennis. This is my channel, Den and Denim. We're celebrating 150th anniversary of Levi's riveted garments. The original riveted garment made for miners and somehow worn by people all over the world. And if you're curious about why that is, then that's what my channel is all about. The 501 story from 1870 all the way to 1984 tells you who was wearing 501s at what point in time and how it changed. I am wearing an 1875 miner's jumper. This is what an American thinks of as, jumper's a weird word. It's a shirt, pullover shirt. So pullover means it only has buttons to the middle, then you pull it over. It has the arcuate and rivets on the pockets. I am wearing a pair of 1901 501s, nicely worn in. They're very comfortable. And on the back behind me are some of my favorite collections, and we've got, starting here, 1915, Golden Handshakes, 1875, oldest Precious Grimes. 1880s Nevada, Nap-Ave, the most historically accurate, oldest pair I have. 1937s, first with the red tab. 1890s, oh, this is my favorite pair. Oh, just soaked these in from Rigid, and they're just a nice feel. Really love those. Then, this is what I'd be wearing if I weren't sitting and I didn't want in the background, but it's 1873 125th anniversary. So from, this was like 99, 98, 99. Historically not accurate, but wearable. And then we've got one of my first pair, 1966, tub soaked from Rigid. 54 zipper, and making an appearance, 44 Surf Rats. Thanks for all the love. This channel just hit 2,000 subscribers. We have been growing steadily. There's been nothing like viral. It's just been a steady, constant. People are still watching the videos day after day, and I'm loving it. It keeps growing, and so it's getting better. I want to make the production better. I want to make everything a little step better and more enjoyable to watch. I think we'll get back to what is going on. So there are some events. Some other cool things I guess we should talk about. The new release today of the 150th anniversary. Let's take a look at this. Let's go to the French website. And it's down here at the bottom. This is the 150th anniversary pair. More historically accurate than 25 years ago. Only 150 made, and they sold out very quickly. I'll getting that to load. Can I get another page? So if anyone bought them, let me know. Are you excited? Do you have buyer's remorse? Are you looking to flip it? But yeah, the limited editions, there were 5 this season, and they did them in these drops. If you're watching from America, I know how you feel. I know it's just absolutely crazy. They dropped in Japan, they did a lottery, and then the stores in some Japanese stores, Hong Kong, I think a couple other cities in Asia, they released them there. In Europe, they dropped on the website 1 p.m. Central European time on Friday, and they were supposed to be in America first. Then that got delayed, and I just had a feeling to check at 7 a.m. Eastern time because they said Pacific. And I checked a few different countries, and I actually had bought from then, like I bought a 32, 31 waist, and then it said I got it, and then I said cancellation. So then I tried a different size, and then when I went to my basket, it was already sold out. Then I tried again on a different store, a reseller today, and the same thing happened. And so this is like, I got it, I don't. I got it, I don't. It's okay. It's not my main item for what I want. Just waiting for those duck pants. They are pretty cool. They come with the box, this metal box that has a rolled up pattern. It's a thing. They always come with some cool bag or box, usually. Otherwise, no other items are really dropping. They've already dropped in Europe or Japan or America. I guess you're waiting till next month. Not sure what's up with America, and they've been changing it. I know. So there is some bad stuff, and you know what? Let's get into that. Let's just straight jump into what went wrong for the 150th. Late releases, bizarre release schedule, that stuff just came out very not sure when. The Japanese 1937s are out in America now, and they announced it like 2 weeks ago, but it had dropped in America a month and a half ago. You just had to randomly check. There's a lot of stuff going on for the premium line. If you like it, it's good. There's the banners. I don't know if it's going to make worldwide, but there are 6 different language texts. I think it's Hindi, Mandarin, Cantonese, Korean, and more affordable Japanese one. There's the birthday selvage. It has 150th written on the inside. If you get some of the items like the granny patch, you'll see that they have these, the rivets, the tab, they all say 150th on them. Anyways, as far as the LVC line, which is what we're mostly concerned with here, then very disappointing. Even disappointing for the Japanese release, that it just doesn't seem like they really did what they did 10 years ago when they went all crazy, had underwear. They're pretty much given up on the women's line. There's 701s, but that's it. If the women want a shirt, then they pretty much wear a men's shirt. If they want a jacket, they wear a men's jacket. And it's androgynous. It's fine. It happens. But sometimes, especially with these 19th century stuff, I think women would want to be a little more feminine with it. I know my wife does, and I look for some of those items for her. So if you did sign up for the app, that's how the way these limited editions were supposed to be sold. Was you signed up with the app, and you got a notification when it's going to drop. So if we go to the America site and go to Discover, you don't need to be logged in. You don't need to be a member. You have upcoming drops. So then you go in there and you won't see anything for the LVC in here. You've got all these items and just collaborations, crossovers that the LVC fans aren't looking for. If you go to one of the European sites, then you should see some of those, not all of them, but they didn't give you a notification on any of it. They didn't say, hey, you're the first to know about this, buy it now because it'll be released tomorrow. I don't know why, but everything got messed up with that. Then there's country to country. Each thing varies. I feel for you guys, like in Canada. I don't know why Singapore can't get the stuff that Japan has, but a lot of other wealthy cities in Southeast Asia do. And is there anything else they really butchered? I heard the 1901s this year were made in Turkey. I know the 1873s are made in Japan. A lot of promotion to things that the historic fans just aren't interested in. But that's enough pouting. We're going to bring the energy back up. Woo! Parties! Are any of you at the parties? Are you going to parties later? The problem with doing this, I try to pick the best time zone to be like, people in Asia are probably trash getting their way home or passed out now. And people in Europe are at the parties. And then people in America are planning on going. So you can watch and join in. A quick shout out to my patrons. Tex, Alec, Chance, Sam, Evan, Michael, Jesse, Mike, Riley, James, and Unbleached Apparel. They're all Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much. You guys, your money helps out with all the technical stuff. Getting this light has really been one of the best helps I've done. Better microphone. Any money I get from the Patreon goes into just making the channel technically better. I've got a super now. You can leave a one-time tip on YouTube. And all that money just goes directly to making the channel better. And anything I can get for Levi's budget down the road, that would be cool. But that's like what I do from the ads. I have one sponsor, like Unbleached Apparel. And I gotta say, I love their shirts. I said no to like 3 other sponsors because I don't want to waste your time with the same HelloFresh that YouTube viewers do. I also want you to want to have some integrity with what I do. Besides that, I've talked about Chasco Mania Cookies, my cookie company. Once we can reopen again, great. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Facebook, it helps the growth. Big cookies, caramelized white chocolate to represent the rivets, along with gold sprinkles and copper arcuate. Try to get a nice indigo color. Nice thick cookies. When I make them big like this, I'm hesitant to eat one. But then I make them half the size, and I'll eat 7 of them. Just gong, gong, gong. Chasco Mania cookies. Now back to them parties. So I would like to be in Budenheim. That would kind of be my idea. London and Paris have the Rolling Loud. That's where it's just a bunch of concerts, but there's always like this little pop-up store. They're going to have what garments they want to show off, a lot of painted ones. You can buy a lot of customized ones. So that's what's going on there. The 501 experience is going on in San Francisco, but it's going to have satellite versions. Now, for that, there are a few things, and they're not bad. You have number 1, chapters. This shows you historical garments that were worn by famous people. So you can see you have a lineup of all the LVC historics. You have some pairs that were actually worn by certain people. And move myself over to here so you can see. And you'll have some painted pairs. Number 2 is the 501 tunnel. And this is a animation video about, you can check it out, but you walk through a tunnel from Rough Mercy Video Art. animation. Number 3 is the 501 Factory. There's customized pairs. 150 pairs made in San Francisco. So you can see they're doing from fabric. They're weaving the fabric there, I guess, the whole thing. Are they growing the cotton too? I think that's pretty cool. That's the other limited edition that isn't part of the LVC line, just their regular line. Denim Workshop, repair your denim here. And then just like a pop-up store selling all of these 150th anniversary stuff and whatever else they want to bring in. Probably depends site to site. Otherwise, it's concerts. Food trucks probably are doing it. In Budenheim is going to be... That's where Levi Strauss has his birth house. It's turned into a museum. And it's pretty much just a mild shindig. Look at some of these denim paintings of Mr. Strauss and Jacob Davis, a few other art pieces, and then that's it. You can also have the Levi Urstoff beer. So this one I've been trying to order. I think I have to go there and get, but I think they're still making it. I don't know how it is. I would love to try it. And if you're in Japan, there's painted customized pairs, there's concerts, and then it's very special is this patch replacement that they're doing. So the patch replacement of any LVC garment, mostly the cotton patches from shirts. If you go to the hashtag 150 years of 501, you will see what's going on. That's the official hashtag that people are posting stuff with. If I can pull that up, we'll get it. Otherwise, yeah, get your LVC patches replaced. That's something you can't do. With the LVC collection, the tailors don't replace it. You just get whatever new thing they have. And it's a lot of the parties going on, and I think it's great. Here's that painting of Mr. Strauss. People are making 150 with jeans. That's a pretty cool one. Oh, let's measure it out, the negative space. And a lot of their just general promotion stuff. I don't think I would really prefer to be at one of the big parties. It's just not my kind of scene. But in San Francisco, there are a lot of great people going to be there. Tracy Panic, of course. Berber Gin's going to be there. A lot of the great denim heads that we look up to. And I'm wondering if you guys have pictures already in here of that. But that's the hashtag to follow. You get to see the parties. Right now, it's so many more than what I had seen last time. Oh, that's cool. Comes with a little pocket, or they just put that in there. They got that separate. Yeah. So this is what you get with the 150th. The rolled up patent. The letter. I'm very curious about that letter. If someone has that, you can send it to me. I would love to see it. It's a cute little coin purse or something. Yeah, because the only 1873 letter I know is the 1872 letter that Mr. Davis wrote to Levi Strauss. And we don't really know what that... We have an idea of that letter from what the Ben Davis family says. but no other proof. I'd love to do an episode about Jacob Davis and explain like why he never smiled or why they said that. But his son, Simon Davis, he deserves a whole series because that guy is just an American icon beyond belief. So many wild stories. And that's it for that, parties. I would like to take you to my party, though, because I've got a different idea of what more fun is. And if you just sit back and tell you what I think, I would celebrate Levi's as his 150th if I were doing it in San Francisco. I would have it at a venue, could have at least a couple bars, a stage, and one of the bars is old-timey, Western Saloon. The other, 20th century dive bar. That sanitized version, Disneyfied. You've got impersonators, actors all around. You've got Mr. Strauss, Elvis, Marilyn. You've got all these Levi's icons, and they're wearing historical replications of what they would have worn. They've read a sheet that says, like, hey, I know this now about the garments and about the personality. I would get people from all the eras, just like how the 501 tunnel is showing people from all these eras, skaters, surfers, mechanics, farmers. You've got all these different guys trained to talk about what historic 501 garment they're wearing and moseying about the crowd. You've got dressing rooms to try on actual historical garments, actual historical blouses, if permits. You've got, you can also try on, they'll get as many recreations as they can in as many sizes, so you can try on all of the LVC recreation at once. Then let's talk about food for a minute. And I think you do small bite-sized versions of just classic American food, from Old West kind of little chili on toast to burger sliders, PB&Js. San Francisco, you get like bite-sized sourdough with clam chowder, sourdough something, some chocolate. Some Sonoma Valley small plates, meat and veggie versions, upscaled. And invite workers from the headquarters, store employees who can come, get as many hardcore fans as you can, some collectors, and then whatever crowd wants to mosey in. But leave the rest of the celebrities alone. Don't pay them to come there. Don't use that as the influence. This is the influence. That's all you need. It's all you ever needed. Maybe. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. But, Prost. All right, so let's start looking at what is going on in... If we go to the American site, and go to the LVC line, we already showed that there's you have to go to collections and then LVC. The 1870s Nevadas have dropped. You can get those. You can't get a triple pleat blouse yet. Otherwise, the 47s, 55s that are new, those are out. I think you can get the shirts, some of the shirts, but it's all over the place. They still have stuff on some of the sites from a year ago. This leather jacket went on sale in America for 30% a week after it first released. Like, it didn't do that in other countries. It hasn't done that yet, but for some reason it was for 2 weeks on 30% sale. So that's it. That's it. You got a bunch of years in rigid, and that's pretty much it. I don't know when those are dropping, but let's go to another country. So I think we're in France now. Let's go to their LVC line. And they had drops. Like, Europe had drops, but they weren't coming out on time from when they were actually dropping. You just have to keep looking. You have to get lucky with it. I mean, I might check again right now. Okay. I'm really just, number one item I want is the duck pants. I feel like my collection will be complete, and I can tell the full 501 story from this room, but also from the videos with just that pair. I like the way it looks. I like the way that the duck looks with the blue. I think it makes a great combination like this. I think it makes a great combination the other way. So I've got a camber shirt. Otherwise, a minor, denim minor would look really good. Denim shirts of any kind. I think it looks good next to a rigid dark. I think it looks great next to the natural indigo. So there's more. There's more items in the French one, and you will see that they have all of the limited editions. Not the 1890s; those disappeared. But I don't know why we have the inside outs from a year ago, and I don't understand why if you click on something, it tells you about what things were in the 1960s for the Earth Day one. They still have the Earth Day thing, and people on other websites are copying that and just pasting it. So, trouble across the board. I don't know if people know that, what's going on. If they look at it. Yeah, so here we go. They're talking about Earth Day, 1970, and then talking about 1870s. So this is the triple pleat blouse, and it's probably the only one we can get. There are two others, and there's even on the Instagram, like, they showed a picture of the Roanoke, blue and white checkered. And there's also a rigid if we go to Japan. So let's go to the Japanese site and see what they have. They've had the duck for over a month now. It's even on sale. They've had a lot more going on. Here's the Canberra shirt. This actually exists. They didn't show up in that site there, but if you search for it, it will pop up. So if you go to your European site and you type in Canberra, it's there. It just won't show up in the section for LVC. See? There you go. Take a sip of beer, and while that's going, I forgot to move that back down. Sorry. So here's the Canberra shirt. It exists in the European sites. You just got to search for it. Here's the duck shirt that I have. This has, the new one has the more historically accurate patch. Everything else is the same as this. Mine's made in Turkey. I think this one's probably made in Turkey too, but it's fine. It's fine, whatever. Then the pants. This is what I am waiting for. The Ecru shirt, the Roanoke triple pleat blouse. This 1914 shirt that has they released it before, but this time it has a more plant pattern of vines going up. I really like it. I think it just makes a nice touch. I like wearing flowery ties with flowers on them. So that. The Lot 70 sack coat and the Cortland worn-in bib and brace. These are all items that I hate to say. The Valencia Henley and the triple pleat blouse in rigid. These are all items we're not going to get. We're not going to get in Europe. We're not going to get in America. We're not going to get in Australia. It's only in Japan, and I think Korea and Hong Kong have some too. So it's very, very bad news about that. Why it has to be such a discrepancy? Will some items sneak out? Is there a store that you can buy from that will ship internationally? A secondhand store in Japan or Korea that will ship internationally. You have to deal with the tariffs and the shipping and all that stuff. But yeah, let's hope. So it comes down to this. There's definite news is regarding the LVC line. And that is that it's done. This is its last season. LVC, Levi's Vintage Clothing line, and Made and Crafted are both ending. The worldwide Levi's company, they just want to have one line that they're releasing stuff. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean... it means a lot that, you know, it's not going to be as much focus on it. Probably won't be any lookbooks, or they won't be the same. You'll have Levi's just doing their regular catalog, and they might throw an historic garment in there. Maybe some... right now you can see they have like the 54, 81, 93, 90s premium line. They're not historically accurate, but that's not the point of it. It's to get you to have that feel of it. And the other news is that Japan has their own licensing, so they can do what they want. They pretty much sell out like crazy there, so I think they might actually still make a lot of historically correct garments in there. I hope that this is just a short-term thing. If we really look back to what when Levi started this in 1996, there were only a few items. There were like 3 pairs of jeans, 3 jackets, a couple shirts, and they were all from 1936 to 1961. This classic era. And it was only supposed to be a limited edition run of 1 season, but it continued for over 25 years. I thank you for that. Otherwise, I don't know what their motive of it is. It's really a big FU to the fans who dump the most money every year. The loyal fans, but we'll get to that moping in another episode of something. Right now, I think it's good to look forward to that Japan kind of will still be holding the reins on this. They can do it the way they want to. Hopefully all made in Japan, historically accurate, and you might have to wait for them to trickle out of Japan, but they'll still exist and be somewhat made. We'll talk about some episodes about what we can do. And, of course, I'll be bringing you news of what the newest line that replaces this is, what the items that replace this is. Hopefully we'll do a Lot 1 episode at some point and take a trip. Brings us to channel news. very focused for the rest of this year on finishing the 501 series. The 501 story goes from 1870 to 1984. And if it has the nice thumbnails, then I've done it. Then it's the new version. And I'm sticking with those. If it doesn't have that, it has the old thumbnail, I'm going to redo those episodes. I'm about halfway through. There's about 31, I think. And I want to finish that up. I've got this whole story arc. So it's a linear story that tells you from the minors to the Olympics, what Levi's meant, who was wearing them, and how America and the world changed because of this. And how the garment changed because we're going over all the little details. I get these comments about people loving these deep dives into history, but also loving the fashion stuff of this, and how... Thank you so much, because that's what I've really discovered in doing this, is that I love doing that. I wanted to make a history channel more so, and it kind of came out, and that's what I want to do. So I'm keeping going with that. I will drop and do an episode about what's going on with any Levi's future. The Duck episode will hopefully be very soon, in the next few weeks after it drops. And I've got other episodes planned. Even if you're not thinking about buying the jeans, you still want to know this story. You've, such as 1917. Those are very rare, but you have the Homer Campbell story, and you also have Levi's first being portrayed on film. And so you can tell the whole story of Levi's on film, starting at this point. 105 years now. 106 years of Levi's on film. Otherwise, I want to also do some episodes where I compare things. So I'm going to do these comparative episodes. Historic style duck pants versus 582 stay loose carpenter pants. Oldest 501s I can get versus the modern shrink to fit 00501 0000. That's its product code number for this year's regular shrink to fit 501s. And also doing some more with that, trying to tell you guys how to get your right fit for that pair. Comparing, doing some shirt episodes, history of Hawaiian shirts, redoing Canberra, pullover shirts. And there's a lot to do. The 501 story is still at the forefront for this year. Hopefully I will be finished this time next year with it. I've dropped in doing an episode a week to doing hopefully 2 episodes a month, and just really trying to make episodes that you'll want to watch at least once, watch over and over again, that I can watch, and that are just technically better and more enjoyable every time. I think that brings me to everything that I wanted to talk about, so let's do a toast, and I would say get your toast ready to 150 years of the riveted garment and everything that holds together in it. Cheers. All right, now let's look at some of these questions. Oops. All right, try and look at some of these questions. Okay, I don't know what I did with my window. All right, so I'll just lean back and try to answer someone here. Let's see. Hey, from Arizona, Canada. Yeah. Thanks. Cookies are good. So on Instagram. Oh, thanks. No, I'm not in the UK. I live in Poland. I'm from California, and I want to move to Japan. No, I'm very happy with where I'm at and everything. Really, very happy in a lot of ways. Very frustrated this week. Very exhausted with trying to deal with this and also laying everything else on. A lot of holidays this month. Happy Mother's Days. Happy Bonfire Day. However you celebrate it, Lag Boamer or Maypole. It's just a cultural thing. The same holidays all the time. So besides Levi's, I want to tell you about other companies that are. I have a couple that are made in California. I have a couple that are historical garment styles. So it's going to be some stuff that's not just Levi's. I just really want to finish the 501 story and celebrate this year. But I will have other stuff in there. Got a pair of 37s in rigid a few weeks ago. Tub soak went perfectly too. Your video helped me pick those as the next project pair. Thank you. When Levi's can make new generation blue, I'm not sure. I know I'll talk about in some future videos about what their plan is for their cotton for the denim. I know they're pretty much looking to do recycled denim for most of their stuff now, and they might be switching to a plant-based natural indigo for most stuff. That's been almost an hour, 50 minutes. I think that's good enough. Happy 501 day, everyone.